Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. This is Corey Bonsack, Associate Broker, Next Home Champions, coming at you today from Higgins Lake. I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend this last weekend. Had a chance to get out and enjoy maybe some community events or festivities in the area and didn't spend the entire weekend working away. Today's topic for our 10 at 10 today is having a clearly defined business plan. Now, that is a heck of a broad topic, but there's really one aspect in particular of that that I want to touch on and kind of get it chiseled down into. So, with a lot of our things in our lives, the things that are kind of on the top of our mind is through maybe some things that we've recently read or conversations that we've recently had, interactions with folks, and that's where my idea and thought came from for today's topic. So, specifically, it kind of came out of an article that I read this last weekend. I don't even actually remember where it was from or what the title of it was or who wrote it, but the general gist of the concept around the article was indicating triggers that might make you lead to think that perhaps the real estate industry isn't something you want to continue to be in or no longer be a part of. Now, a lot of the things that talked about in there just boil down to, frankly, from what I remember, is just making excuses, whether it's about your broker not supporting you, market conditions not being ideal, and this and that, changes in dynamics of what's going on in the marketplace with current things and events and such. But one of the things that I really picked out of that article, that I thought was kind of interesting, was the notion of relying solely on leads to be your main avenue of getting business driven into your business. Um, and that really kind of touched me as a good topic to talk about, because we each need to figure that out as part of our business plan. How are we going to generate leads? Where are leads going to come from? And how are we going to write that into our business plan? We all start somewhere. We all start with leads. I did it that way when I got started in real estate. I had leads fed to me from my broker or got them off of Zillow. But eventually came a point in time when you had to gravitate away from that because, frankly, if you keep having that level of commission taking away off of every transaction, that's just not a good business model to rely on. So eventually, we need to gravitate to someday figuring out, as part of our business plan, how are we going to get away from that? How are we going to grow into generating leads by ourselves? So what that really comes down to is creating a target. That's what your business plan is creating a target for where you want to eventually be someday. Frankly, you can't hit the bullseye on a target if it doesn't exist, and that's what your business plan does. Is it creates a direction for you to go where you want to be, where you want to grow into, specifically as a real estate agent. Um, so that kind of related to me as I was reading that back to a focus group Zoom that I was on, about a month ago, and Nathan White was the guest speaker on that. And it was a really compelling focus group that I was a part of. And I was glad I had the opportunity to jump on there and was part of that conversation and interaction, because this is, to me, was kind of specifically what Nathan was talking to. And what he was saying is you got to figure out you got to define you and who you're going to be for an agent. And that is what I would say that people need to figure out as an agent is building their business plan. You got to really understand that you need to find what your uniqueness is. How are you going to stand out in the marketplace? What's your angle going to be? The value that you're going to bring to attract different clientele into your business. For everybody, it's going to be different. And that's what you need to figure out. Again, when you get started, you kind of have to mimic maybe your managing broker, some of the other agents that are in your office, because you're just getting started. You're just figuring it all out. But eventually, there reaches a time and a day when you kind of need to figure out where you're going to be on that for yourself. Um, for myself in my market where I am, I do that through being a property manager here. We're the only real folks here in this market that have a clearly defined property management company. that then attracts people into our business. And that's been our angle that we've worked on building for about 10 years now to bring leads on. I look at, all the listings and stuff that I have right now. In some way or form, all those listings were generated through a conversation that originated in or came out of property management on some level. I had an agent ask me this about a month ago. She said, Corey, I've been in real estate for about 2 years. I really rely on Zillow leads. I wouldn't know how to run my business if it wasn't for Zillow leads. How do you keep getting all these leads? And that was the conversation or the response I had back to her. Well, you need to figure that out. I mean, for me, I know how I do it, but that's my own unique way of doing that. And I built my business around that. That's something that you need to figure out in order to get away from that. And I understood her frustration where she was coming from because she was feeling a hand in her pocket on every transaction because everything was a lead that was given to her. Um, so that would be, just today's topic. My feedback to give to folks is you need to figure that out. And it's not necessarily something that's easy to figure out. Maybe you need to have some conversations with your managing broker and some of the other agents in the office or a peer in the market to figure out where that's going to be for you. But definitely something you need to get figured out, chiseled down for your business plan to move forward is, find your you and what your uniqueness is going to be. How do you bring value into an interaction that's going to make a client, whether it's a buyer or a seller, choose you as an agent over some other agent in the marketplace? So that's today's topic. Hopefully that maybe helps somebody out. I hope everybody has a wonderful, fantastic day. Thank you.